By the way, Jonathan does children's parties or bar mitzvahs. If you'd like to hire him. Wow. I want to go to the Christini's that has 5 bouncers outside. And like wow, that's pretty heavy stuff. One more time for Jonathan, everyone. One more time. By the way, another rule for the Moth: every story has to be memorized. You're not allowed to bring paper up on this stage, except for me. All right, next storyteller. When I asked her what her favorite thing was about New York, she said she liked the stores and the lights. When I asked her specifically what stores, she said Toys R Us.
Yeah!
She likes the attractions and they remind her of being a kid. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Janay Bilal.
Yeah!
Here I am, 8 years old. It's me, my cousin, and my sister. We're with our mom, and I'm like, I know I do good in school, so, I heard she's getting us some presents. My mom tells me, oh, get ready, I'm going to take you out to Toys R Us. Here I am like, yay, Toys R Us. I can't wait to go. So we're on the train, and, we all are getting hyped and excited and stuff. And by the time we get there, we're on 14th Street or something like that. So when we get inside, like, the doors just open, and it's like we see everything there. Like, we see Jeffrey, and we see all the toys and lights, and I'm like, Mama, look at this, and I'm like so happy. So my mom's like, well, I'm gonna get you, some toys. Just stay right there. Don't worry about it. Just be right there. So when we get to like the second or third floor, we were still. We didn't do anything. I'm looking at her like, I'm gonna be responsible. I'm the oldest. I'm gonna watch my cousin and my sister. I'm gonna be right here. When my mom goes to the toys, she's like, oh, well, make sure you don't touch anything and don't do anything to get yourself in trouble. I'm like, no problem. While she's out, I start getting bored. So here I am like, oh, well, look at that. And I'm playing with the toys and kicking the things on the floor. And me, my cousin, and my sister just talking among each other. And we happen to be next to an escalator. So I'm here like, okay, it's in 20 minutes. Like, when is she coming back? I'm getting bored here. And I look at the escalator, and I start to become like a little daredevil. So I'm like, hey, look at me. And I grab the handrail, and I let it take me up just a few inches. It's not that big. And I drop back down. So I keep messing with the handrail since it's in motion, and I'm having like the best time of my life because I'm getting bored. Here my cousin's like, oh, I can do it better than you. So me and her start getting competition, and we like, oh, look who could go the farthest, and we're having a great time. My little sister has a habit of mimicking everything I do. You could be older than her, bigger than her. If you're older and bigger than her, she's going to copy you. So here she is like, I can do it better than you guys. I can do it better. I'm like, Ty, just stop. So here she grabs the handrail, and she lets it take her up. I'm like, okay, she's pretty good. She's good. But the more she goes higher, it's like from inches to feet. And I'm like, okay, time to get back down. And she's like, no, look at me, I'm higher than y'all. And she's rubbing our faces. And me and she's like, okay. And just being like, yo, she did better than us. I'm like, I know, but she needs to get down. Now, the feet gets bigger and bigger. She's like 10 feet in the air. She starts getting higher. Now, while we're all in amazement, I'm starting to, get concerned, like, okay, Taja, get down, because you're on the outside of the escalator, sweetheart, get down. And she's like, no. And then she noticed she can't get down. She's like, Janay, help me! Oh my God, I can't get down! I'm like, I told you to get down. And like, I'm starting to panic. And she's like, I can't get down. And she starts crying, and her screams get like louder and louder. My heart's like pounding. And I'm like, oh, okay, I don't know what I'm going to do. Or Justine nudging me, or you better tell your mama, because I ain't telling her. And I'm like, no, come on, I need help. I don't know what to do. So she's like, come on, we have to go tell your mom, man. And I'm like, no. And her screams get like piercing. She's just screaming in midair. And like the drop, if she lets go, she can nearly die. And I'm starting getting scared. I'm like, oh my God. So the commotion comes, and all these people, oh my God, is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's a little girl. She's hanging from the escalator. We gotta do something. And people just stand there. I'm like, oh my God. And people look at me like, is that your sister? And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So when the crowd gets really big, they start making a lot of noise. Here, I'm like, okay, and my heart is like boom, 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 and it's like racing. And me and Justine take it upon ourselves to go through the crowd and tell my mom. when I'm walking through the crowd, I'm getting faster and faster in my mind, and it's racing like Taja's gonna die, and time is going by and nobody's doing anything. When I get to the shelves and I'm running out of breath, and I'm like, ugh, she sees me, and my mom's like, what's going on? Because she hears the commotion before I get to her. I'm like, Taja, escalator, mommy, and she's like, she sees me stuttering, and she's like, oh my God. Now she throws all the toys and her purse down, and she starts running to the crowd, and my mom's not fat, she's just fluffy. So she starts like knocking people over, and they look like bowling ball pins just dropping, and she's like, get out the way, it's my baby! It's my baby! Who's gonna save her? And people look like, oh. And so all of a sudden, she's like, I don't know what to do, and she really starts getting teary-eyed, and she's, panicking, and she's trying to jump on the escalator to save my sister. Now, in my mind, I'm like, this is all my fault, I'm gonna get hit, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I start to cry myself. Justine, she looks and she's like, somebody got to do something. So finally we see a manager on the lower level, and he's like looking up and he's devastated, like, I came to work for this. But it's like, oh my God, the girl is dangling from the escalator, we need to help her. And the security still hasn't came by. So it's like, what is it going to do? Now he makes the estimate, like, if I go up the escalator, she might drop. She's a little girl, she might let go. So I'm going to just stay here and ask her to jump. But, he's going to do it in a calm way. So he's like, little girl, get off, jump down, jump down. And she's like, no, and she's clutching it. And everybody thought that they could make her comfortable by chanting. So she's like, jump, jump, jump. And she's like, I can't. And people are like, just jump, please. And then finally, she started letting her fingers go, like a pointer, then a middle finger. I'm like, and I look out the window like it's a brand new day, nothing's happening. I'm trying to not look at it because I'm thinking she's going to split right open. And all of a sudden, the guy's like, you have to jump. My mother's like, jump off. And she lets go. And I can hear her like, ah! I'm like, she's gonna fall. And so finally, he catches her. Oh my God. I was so happy. I was looking up at the sky like, thank the Lord. So all of a sudden, he catches her and he brings her up on the escalator. And he's like, sweetheart, are you okay? And she's clutching his hair and his suit. And she's like, and that's what she's making, just noises like that. And he comes up and he looked like he had a hard day's work. He's like, miss, don't let the girls play on the escalator, please. Please. And so I'm like, thank the Lord, God bless you. And I love you, you will be blessed. Like you saved my daughter. And so she grabs her and put her down. And then my sisters all, start being shaken up. And I'm looking at her like, I don't know how I'm going to tell her sorry because it's all my fault. My mother turns to look at me with her evil eyes, and if looks can kill, I would have been dead. She's like, how's my baby up there? And why was she up there? I know it was you, Janay. I know it was you. I'm like, it wasn't my fault. I didn't mean to. And she's like, yeah, none of y'all get toys. And we were all mad, screaming, and, I'm like, oh, God. And she's like, it's because of you, man. And so I'm like, oh, God. And so she grabs my hands, and she starts running out the toy store. We're like, no, trying to pull her back. But the time we got out the toy store, and we walking like 2 blocks away, my mom's she's mad, and she turns to me, she's like, I can't believe you did that. And I'm like, I'm sorry, and I'm feeling like really, really guilty. And then I look at Taja, and I'm like, Taja, I really did mean that. I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. We didn't get toys, anything. I put your life in danger. And she's like, it's okay, but it didn't she accepted my apology. But later on, she did. And then my mom was like, you have to be responsible, Janay. You have to know what you're doing. And then about, after all that commotion and everything died down, I start to learn, I have to think before I do things because I can put other people's life at risk. Thank you.
Yeah!